I hate videos. Now, you may be wondering, if I hate videos, what the heck am I doing here? Happy Wednesday, everyone. My name is Inge van Roy, and you are watching and listening to Wonder Women Wednesday, where we highlight ordinary women that are making an extraordinary difference. Today, I will be in conversation with an amazing woman. Her name is Deb King, and Deb is originally from Australia, but she is visiting in Hawaii today. Um, and I'm excited because I get to chat a little bit with her, learn from her, and highlight her today. I know that the conversation is going to be amazing. If you are watching this live stream, I'd like to point to you to the fact that we are live on radio on Africa online radio, where we bring you only the very best in local and international music. We are your oasis of entertainment, your Kapsa vibe. And if you'd like to join us on Africa Online Radio and listen in instead of watching, you may do so by visiting the website africa.co.za, and you can click listen live and you'll be able to hear the conversation instead of watch it. The best part about listening on radio is that there is a wrap up. After I'm finished talking to Deb, there will be a wrap up, and we'll be talking about how you can cultivate the mindset that she's going to be talking about. And I get to play some music that's related to what we're talking about. So please head on over, especially to the radio station, and be part of the conversation. If you're watching us live, please send us a message. Let us know where you're tuning in from, and also any questions that you'd like me to ask our wonderful guest. But without further ado, why don't I bring her on so she can introduce herself to all of us? Hello, Deb. You're on mute.
Aloha.
Hello. How are you?
Great, thank you. I'm still getting. I just landed less than 24 hours ago, and getting myself organized. But I'm very happy to be here. It's been quite a while, so yeah. And it's great
Oh
that
my
I'm
gosh.
live with you rather than it would have been stupid o'clock in Sydney, Australia, where.
Right? Oh my goodness. I remember when I met you for the first time. It was 6 p.m. my time, and I think 8 in the morning for you. So, yes, stupid o'clock, I agree. Wow, thank you and welcome. Thank you for being here with us, Tim. Won't you please introduce yourself? Let everyone know who you are and what you do.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me. Well, I'm Deb King, and I am co founder of the Wisdom Playground and the Coach Training Campus. And we work with people who are coaches and healers and practitioners and wisdom teachers, those who help people transform, the ones that are uplifting humanity. And we work with them to create actually more success in their business. So I have an amazing business partner, and we have some really unique wisdom that we share. because for those who are coaches would probably know, but those who aren't, a lot of coaches have big hearts but not got the business success that they want,
Yeah,
and we can help them. So
I know exactly what you're talking about there. Well, thank you, Deb, for being here. It's such a privilege and an honor to have you. Um, won't you please share a little bit of your career journey with us? Where you started and where you are now, and a little bit of what happened in between.
okay. Well, I always wanted life to be fun, and when it came to the end of my high school, I didn't know what to do, so I just decided to go to uni, and I did Bachelor of Commerce in marketing, only really because I didn't know what else to do. Uh, and then I always loved travel, and I ended up doing working in a media company in promotions. I did a lot of hospitality stuff. I always loved enjoy. I enjoy people enjoy people enjoying themselves. I enjoy seeing that. I enjoy being part of that. And so, anyway, I went to London and worked in hospitality again, actually in a record company on reception and also in some nightclubs. I started on the bar, and then I became a bouncer. Then became a nightclub manager. And, and, um, and I was a bit of a party animal, to put it mildly. And eventually I realized that I wanted to do other things other than party, and it led me back home in 2003 to become a life coach. So for the past 20 years, I have been in the coaching industry, personal development, spiritual development, entrepreneurial development, all the developments, and coaching, training, all those things. And what happened was in 2020, I was going to follow my dream to live in Hawaii, which is why it's very special. I'm here right now. It's the first time I've been back since, well, the last time I was here was 2019. But 2020, I had arranged a retreat for women in
Oh,
April 2020, and the world stopped traveling in March
oh,
2020.
yeah.
So I stayed in Sydney, and what happened was I was having lots of great chats with my now business partner, Gabby, and we ended up creating the Wisdom Playground. And so that is the summary of the journey. But yeah, it's
Oh
been
my
an
gosh.
interesting kind of
I'm
different,
sure it's
unconventional, let's say unconventional.
I'm sure that it's very ethereal to be back there, right?
It's amazing. It's like sort of, yeah, I'm still, like I said, still kind of landing really. Yeah, but it is perfection here. The weather, the beauty, it just, I really do love it here. So, mm,
I can imagine. It feels like a world away from where I am right now. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I'm gonna go with that because um, just because of the weather, really. I think for us it's maybe about 20 degrees Celsius right now. Our temperature is definitely dropping, um, and we're sadly going into winter soon. I know. Um, that is something that Canadians talk about a lot, really. It's the weather and how cold it's going to be.
yeah, I mean, you guys have cold on a whole nother level. I don't
I
even.
know. We do. We really do. Oh my goodness.
Mm,
Um,
yeah.
so, Deb, let's see. I want to.
I sort of wish I was sitting outside just so you could have the full Hawaiian vibe. Like I'm in a hotel room right now. I was like, this is a boring background, isn't it? Could be
No,
out
this is
there
fine. I
with the
can
palm
actually.
trees and the ocean.
Oh my gosh. I can. I can imagine that it must be quite warm. Just looking at you, I can see it. Um, so, and maybe it's better you don't show us because we would love to click our heels and be there with you. Anyway, you know, I am all about Ubuntu. And for those that don't know what it is, let me put it on screen for you. Ubuntu is an ancient African word and it means humanity to others. It is often described as reminding us that I am because we are. And for me, Ubuntu is very important because it's really about that sense of community, having different people in maybe different parts of the world or different phases of life or different um, backgrounds, but having something in common. Um, so, what does community mean to you, Deb?
Mm. Well, I love that I'm big on community as well. Love people and connecting, and our business is around a like-hearted community. It's like-minded, but like-hearted even more so because I really feel it's important to create a space where people can have different opinions. They can think differently, and it's okay rather than not like each other just because they think differently. To actually
Yes,
create that space where we can allow people to have different opinions and just get curious about that and seek to understand. So, what I love about community is just the word is common unity and coming together for some sort of a community. There's so many things. It means love, really, doesn't it? It's like
yes,
it's a beautiful thing, and I think it's it's really important to be part of probably multiple communities, but at least one learning community, one where it really has you growing and continuing to become the person you want to be.
that's beautiful. Yes,
Mm.
I love that. So, how is how is your career journey related to the how is your career journey and the work that you do related to your community?
Hmm. Well, the career journey I feel has always been quite people focused, and I've been very lucky to form friendships with people around the world and be part of many communities thanks to that.
Yeah,
I feel that what I would love to be even better at is the nurturing part of that.
yeah,
However, how is it created? I guess all of that has been great learning for me of how to create the community we've created in our business. And
beautiful.
it is like everyone who's part of that just loves being part of our events, and we call them parties, but online learning parties, and they're collaborative and uplifting, and really have people feel supported and inspired and learning
Yeah,
and growing, and it's really cool.
that is really cool.
Mm.
Um, I'm laughing because you said, you come from the entertainment world, right? Where you were a bartender and then you went to being a bouncer,
Yeah.
right? So I'm not surprised that you call them
Ah.
parties.
Oh, right. Yeah.
But you know what? If we can really turn learning into a party, into something that entertains us, that allows us to enjoy it, I think everybody would really be on board with learning, right? And just broadening their minds, I think, instead of it feeling like a chore for many.
Yeah, the more fun, the more we learn actually. Like it is actually the best way to learn. So
Yes,
it's sad if someone thinks learning is a chore. Actually, that's
yes,
very sad to hear.
it is. It is. You
Hmm.
know, listening to you speak, it reminds me of a show that my daughter used to watch when she was little, and it was called High Five. Do you know it?
I think I know what you're talking about. I don't know it well, but I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's a show that was actually put together by Australians. So I'm hearing your accent and it reminds me of the show. But it was very much geared towards learning, but in a fun environment.
Hmm.
So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you should check it out actually. It's actually very educational and very entertaining. I want to go back to when I asked you that question, um, I'm gonna read what you said me because I was, I really, it made me think. It really made me think what you said when I asked you. Um, I asked you this question, which was, what is the one thing that has helped you overcome adversity in your life? And this was your answer. One thing is knowing that everything is perfect. Even when it feels crap, there are still blessings and it's all working out. Everything is an upgrade. How did you come to have such a mindset?
Wow. Well, how did I come to that? Well, you know what? I think that I've always had a fairly positive mindset. I was very lucky. My family in general, well, I think it's my grandpa. My
Yeah.
grandpa, when you asked him his whole life, he lived till 92 years old. Every time anyone said to him, "How are you?" he would say, "Never seen it brighter."
Wow,
It was really gorgeous.
that's beautiful.
And he was such a positive influence on me, I feel. Um and then because of all the personal, spiritual, entrepreneurial development journey I've been on in 20 years, I have learnt that as a knowing of the perfection of everything, of a
Oh,
really witnessing when things haven't gone necessarily the way I want, that it is actually leading to better. And it even has happened during the journey of the Wisdom Playground to Coach Training Campus.
yes,
Every time something's been what we would say is a block or not kind of flowing the way we want, it upgrades to something better. And it's
wow,
really quite a fascinating thing. So it's through sort of mindset and also lived experience that I really feel that deep in every cell, that is truly. Occasionally I'll forget it. That's not fun, but when I
yeah,
remember it, fantastic.
yeah. Wow, that's beautiful. And I will say, I want to point out to you that they are people who have lived through experiences and gotten to see that things do eventually work out, but who choose to not embrace that kind of a mindset, that knowing, right? There are people that have gone through things like that. I mean, I think it really has a lot to do with choice.
100%. 100%.
Yeah,
I would
yeah,
agree because that is every moment we have the choice of how we choose to look at it. And
yeah,
there is always going to be something that doesn't go the way we want. No, that's life, right? Like that
yes,
is part of life. And it's when we that's where we cause suffering, when we have expectations that it's supposed to be a certain way, or we are upset that it's a certain way, and all of that, when actually we could choose to trust that this is actually working out for me. This is actually working out for us. It might not be what I thought I wanted, but it's actually going to end up even better than I could
better,
have imagined.
yes,
And that is what's available, I think, for everyone if we do choose it.
wow. Um, you know, that takes me back actually to when I was a teenager, um, and I had a hard time in high school. Something happened, and a girl was jealous of me and concocted a vendetta to exclude me from our group of friends. And I remember feeling so devastated by what was going on. And somebody spoke to me. I don't remember who it was, but they said something very profound. And they said, "Don't worry, eventually you will see that this was the best thing for you. Um, you don't know how it's gonna work out, but there's something in it that you will realize one day that this will work out for your good and really for better for you." And I sat there thinking, really,
No
really,
way, no
but it
way.
did. It
Yes, I got
really, really
goosebumps
did.
when you said that. It so
Yes,
did, didn't it? It's like
yes,
shaped who you are, and what you do, and how you
it
help so
did.
many people.
It did, and I will say also, it helped me to be able to help my daughters because they also went through that, um, at different ages. But I was able to help them through that by helping them see this kind of perspective as well. So, yeah, I remember thinking, like, what is she talking about?
Yeah.
But she was right. She
It
was
because
right.
it's not easy during when you're in that, when it's feeling really crappy, like
Yes,
it's hard to, but if you can find that glimmer of hope of knowing actually it is
yes,
all going to work out and this is actually going to serve me in a positive way somehow,
somehow.
because there's always blessings, and the funny thing is we judge things, we label it whether it's good, bad, right, or wrong. We're the ones
Yes,
judging it. And actually, have you ever seen the movie? It's a Disney movie called Soul.
I think I have actually.
I think it demonstrates
It's
this
animated,
so
right?
well. It is, it's gorgeous.
Yes,
This movie demonstrates this message to me so much, because it's like the soul comes in to the experience with zero judgment. Like it just wants to taste the pizza, to enjoy the tasting the pizza, and this, feel the senses. But if it falls over, it doesn't matter. Like all of it is good. All of it's an experience.
yeah,
And so there's like zero judgment on any of it, right?
yes,
And that is just a really fantastic way to experience life, rather
yes,
than that we judge so much and cause so much
yes,
suffering. And I think if we could transcend judgment of ourselves and each other and everything, it's just such an amazing way to play.
beautiful. Um, I want to actually, could you share some stories with us of adversity that you faced where things did work out for the good, please?
Mm, sure. Well, I think one's like sitting here in Hawaii right now is quite profound because, as I mentioned, well, I'd been here in 2019, and I'd been numerous times before and fallen in love with it and was like, oh my God, I would love to live here. And
Yeah,
so I actually had a job in an organization as a coach in 2019, and things happened where it was not aligned for me to stay, so I left. Then I worked on this other project which I thought was going to be the thing forever. Like it was such an inspiring vision. I thought it was huge. That lasted only a few months. And then it was
wow,
like, so each time was like, bam, that didn't work, that didn't work. And it's like,
yeah,
okay, I'm going back to coaching in my own business, and I'm going to follow my dream to live in Hawaii. I had arranged the most amazing experience called an Aloha Immersion. It was a retreat for women here in Hawaii, in Oahu. And I had arranged this cool accommodation, amazing tour, really
oh,
special experiences that no one normally typically gets. Like we were even potentially going to have hula lessons from royalty and
oh,
all sorts,
wow,
like super cool stuff.
yeah,
That was arranged for April 2020. March 2020, the whole world stopped. And I mean, that was a year of adversity for many people, right? Because most people's plans were very much changed. Some people had a really tough time. Some people actually chose to embrace the positive side of what happened with that, right?
Yeah.
I came back to where I thought I was going to be in Hawaii for the best part of the 90-day visa. Then I was going to Asia, then Europe, then back to Hawaii in September. I had the most amazing travel plans for 2020. Probably the most planned year I'd ever had.
Yeah.
So when that happened and I landed back in Sydney at my parents' house going WTF, like nothing, like everything has gone out of what I had planned. Like it's just I don't know what's happening. And so I was like, okay, I know in tough times in the world in history, many people have come out very well. Like it doesn't mean like I'm like, okay, I'm gonna come out stronger than ever from this. And so I just started exploring different ideas. And what happened was that led to creating the business that we do now. And we now actually have such unique wisdom that can really help a lot of people that most people, the stuff we have is not taught anywhere else. It's based on research my business partner did herself, very unique and very powerful. And when she shared it with me, I was kind of wished I knew my whole career. And that's why we're like, oh my gosh, we got to do this. So that wouldn't have happened if
Yeah.
my original plan happened. So each time things didn't work out the way I thought I wanted it, there was something better, and there always is.
Hmm. I love that. Say it again for the people in the back, please.
Each time that something doesn't work out the way we think we want, there is something better. There really is an upgrade if we choose it.
Yes. And if we choose to embrace it, it's really about the way that we choose to look at something, right? Wow.
Always. Mm.
Um, so how can someone who is in a difficult space and facing adversity right now, how can they embrace the way that you look at things and um, learn to grow and cultivate this sort of mindset?
Yeah. Well, it's I can really only speak for myself. However, if what I would suggest would
Hmm.
be if someone is facing a tough time right now, and we all do, like I guess the thing to go, it is normal. One of the things is I love the problem is we think we shouldn't have problems. We're always going to have something,
Hmm.
like that is part of life. So to know you're just having a human experience right now, be kind and loving to yourself. Be kind and loving to yourself. Like one of the things why we create it so bad, I've done it before as well. If I'm not feeling well, I can judge myself for like feeling sick or tired or whatever. And it's
Yeah.
like, let's just be loving and kind to ourselves. Like that.
Right?
It is what it is. Like be like it's that kind of acceptance. Okay, right this moment, this isn't feeling good, and that's okay. And
Yeah.
then kind of really give yourself a moment to tune into your heart, really use your breath to get out of your head, dropped into your heart. So take kind of breathe as if you're breathing in through your heart and out through your heart is a very quick way to do that. Just drop into your heart, breathe, and ask your inner knowing, what is the thing you need right now? What's the next step for you? What is it like? And just take it step by step, because that's the other
Yeah.
thing is we try to work everything out when actually just be in the moment, because in the moment stuff isn't as bad as probably what we're thinking, because
Yeah.
often our thoughts is what's creating more adversity for us than it needs to be.
Your
We're
inner
thinking
knowing.
about the
What is it?
past, we're thinking about the future, we're not actually present, and we're causing a whole lot more suffering and adversity than we need to. I mean,
Yes.
sometimes we're going through adversity, there's a really shit situation, but
Yeah.
even still, you can still bring yourself moment to moment, be as present as possible, because when we're present, that's where our power is to know what is the next step that can lead us to the upgrade.
Yes. That is something that I've been learning. I actually just came from a 2 week intense course where we were meeting and learning every day. And it was really about challenging our belief system and, basically examining what it is that we believe and removing certain beliefs from that system that don't serve us. Because there's many things that we actually adopt from different people or even from situations that make us think and take on those beliefs, and really they make us behave in certain ways because of the way that we believe, right? So there are certain things that we don't actually need to believe, that they actually don't serve us. um, and so because of that, I have come to realize that fear does not exist in the present. There's no space for it. The fear really exists in the future because it's in the unknown, right? Um, and like you said, we need to get back to living in the present because that's where we flourish, really. We can't count on tomorrow happening, but today is here right now, and we need to live it to the fullest. So, wow,
I
thank you.
love that. It's so, yeah, we're so conditioned. Our beliefs are, it's really worth challenging our beliefs. It's
Yes,
really worth knowing that a belief is just a thought we keep thinking. And we can
wow,
actually create, new beliefs and create the beliefs we want to have. And then what we believe actually happens. So we might as well create really good beliefs, right?
right, right. Wow, a belief is a thought that we just keep thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes, yes, Deb.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So, can you tell me a little bit about how it is that you came to adopt this way of thinking or being? Um, where did it come from? I know you said you've always been a positive person, but when you get to this point where you really say to yourself that everything is actually perfect the way that it is, right? And not, oh, I'm going to be happy when I have this, or when I do this, or when I accomplish this, but be happy in the right now. Um, yeah, it's a
Well,
choice.
I
Go
feel
for it.
my whole life has actually been a happiness inquiry. That's what I wanted when I was young. I
Ooh,
was like looking for how do we make it fun, or what, I don't know. There was something in me that really was seeking that. And the way I did it when I was young was try to find it externally, because I was a party animal and I was always trying to, I don't know, I really gave the party animal thing a good crack. Eventually realize, well, we happiness is not an external thing. You do not find it externally by what you're doing. It is internal. And for the past 20 years, as on this development journey I've been on, amazing mentors, amazing teachers, coaching and all that type of stuff. My very first life coaching course was just mind blowing, but that still had me a little bit in my head. It's like actually learning the extra modalities to get in my body, and actually, because I was not really living in my body. I was up here in my head, which is many of us are thinking and doing, and we're not really connected with our body and our heart and our feelings, our emotions, because
yeah.
emotions are just energy and motion. But I was scared to
Whoa.
feel anything negative. Like I just tried to, but I tricked myself. I tried to tell myself I'm living in my heart, or I'm this or that or whatever. But actually, what happens if we're not really honest? Energy doesn't lie in our bodies. Our what's really happening. It doesn't matter what we're kind of trying to say. The energy will not lie. So it's like actually learning to really get present, back to presence, back
Yeah.
to really feeling, and that's okay. Like, it's really good to feel and allow the emotions to go through. I would try not to feel them and distract myself or try to avoid it, but they're still in my body, they're still there. So it's better to just feel them, not bathe in them, like not suffer through them, just more
Yeah.
witness and observe and allow them. And because once we do that, they don't stay there. Like the
No.
other side of feeling, if you feel really, really sad and upset, if you allow yourself to feel it, you'll have peace on the other side if you let it move through, rather than just bathing in it forever or avoiding it, right?
Hmm.
So it's a really interesting thing. And I think it'll become more and more what everyone's into is really getting more in touch with the emotions, because it's a guide. It's actually such a powerful thing that we have.
Wow. I think I met you before I did my course, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and I didn't fully understand everything that I then got to understand because I attended the course. But something really profound happened to me actually um, while I was attending this course, and I realized that I was operating from a place of wanting to create security for myself because there had been a bit of trauma when I was a child, which is where most of our trauma comes from, by the way, everyone. Um, and as a result of that trauma, I was operating from a place of fear. So I actually, I was in a session with other people that were attending with me, and someone uh, who actually, he's, how do I say this? His speciality is really getting people to let go of feelings and emotions that don't serve them anymore. He was there and he helped me actually because he said, okay, so when you're looking at this feeling of wanting to be secure, what is the feeling that comes up? And immediately when I was speaking, I said, I feel afraid. And I started to cry. And I didn't know what the heck was going on. It was kind of an out of body experience. And um, he said, "Okay, and now what is your instinct? What do you feel you should do?" And I said, "Well, to be honest with you, I feel like I want to turn off my camera and get off this call." And he told me, he said, "No, just allow yourself to sit in that emotion." And that was so foreign to me because I think everything that I did was to avoid feeling that feeling, you know. And from what I understand, a lot of people go through things where they actually are trying to avoid certain feelings, certain emotions,
For
right?
sure.
And I loved what you said. Actually, you said it's emotions are just energy in motion. And so when I was sitting in that feeling, eventually I felt better, and I didn't have to do anything. I just allowed myself to feel it, right?
Yes, congratulations. That's so cool.
It was liberating. I will
Yeah.
tell you that because nobody wants to feel afraid, but really, like you said, it's just energy in motion. And if you allow yourself to feel it, eventually it's going to go away. You'll be okay.
It's so interesting when you also think about, so many of us, we have fear. That's a human thing, right? Like, it
Yes.
is normal. And if you can actually face your fear, you're so liberated, because whatever we're afraid of is something that might happen in the future. And if you actually go, well, okay, what if it happened? What if the worst thing actually happened? And just let yourself feel that and know, you kind of give yourself so much power because you actually know you'll be okay. Like,
Yes.
rather than continually living
In that
kind of,
fear.
yeah, it's really powerful. And
Wow.
you reminded me of a beautiful question that I came from the very first coaching course I did, which is funny that we're talking about that a few times. Um, Ask yourself, what would love do?
Oh,
And that is kind of a beautiful question.
wow. Yeah. Wow. Now I need to sit in that a little bit. Wow. Yeah. Ask yourself, what would love do? I want to acknowledge some people that are tuned in.
Oh, yay.
So we have Aliana. She says, running in, so catching up with the conversation. Thank you for being here, Aliana. And we also have Yosuke. He says, hello again. I saw him earlier because I hosted an audio room on LinkedIn. We were talking about community building with AI. Um, and I also received a message. Oh, I also received a message from a friend. They said this. I agree with that, with what Deb said. I'm lost for words because it's like she's talking to me. So I'm just taking it all in. Uh, and then she also says, deep conversations today. So much to take in after going through withdrawal. I didn't have an episode last week. So this is my friend, and they're saying like they've been going through withdrawal from
Oh,
not
yay.
not hearing me for a bit. We also have Samantha. She says, hello, everyone. And also Renee saying, good evening. These two people are tuned in from Cape Town, South
Oh,
Africa.
fabulous.
So, um, yeah, I'm just thinking what else I want to ask you because you've really opened up something different. Um, because many times we listen to people and speaking about mindset really and thinking about how it is that we can become like them, right? And I think there are many probably that are listening to what we're saying don't fully understand what it is that we're really addressing because uh, sometimes people don't fully get into this kind of space. So what what kind of practical things can people do to get to a place like what you said earlier in terms of, just knowing that everything is going to work out? Because when we're really in a situation and things are happening and you feel like the walls are coming and crushing, they're going to crush you soon, right? Because they are just things that are happening. What what kind of practical ways can we embrace in order to get to that place? I
Okay.
know you spoke about, being present and trying to really anchor yourself in the present. Um, how do we do that? Because I think a lot of people live either in the future or in the past. What do you think are good ways to get us to be living more in the present?
Yeah, it's a really good question, because
Okay.
it's something that if we all could do a little bit more of that, we probably will have a better life. Yet
Yes.
we are conditioned to not be present.
Yes.
Actually, it's really interesting. So there's many ways. I guess when you're talking about practical steps, I think one thing, like the knowing that everything is working out for me, that belief that I have that is actually a knowing, I would say look back at your life at something that was really crap and look at what was the positives that came out of it. Like what you said in terms of when you were younger, you actually, it was a really tough time, but actually that has helped shape your life like in a
Yeah.
positive way. So look for the evidence because it's there, right? So that would be
Yes.
one thing. Start to play with empowering questions. So we said one before, what would love to, but maybe how could it get even better than this? Or like really open questions of allowing yourself to um, open up to new possibilities and or positive affirmations of like I love my life, life loves me, or something like that. So you just start
Mm.
to, instead of having whatever your default thing that you're saying in your head, because we probably all have something that keeps going over and over, when you notice that, you chuck that out and you put something in that's better.
Let's bless.
Like, so whether it's I'm safe and well, or life loves me and I love my life, or how can it get even better than this, or what would love do, or whatever, like something, either a positive statement or an open question that's really empowering. And
Yeah.
there's many of those. So play with possibilities of what you want to create. Like
Yes.
what could I, how could I have even more fun right now? How could I enjoy myself even more right now? Or I don't know, there's so many ways to play with this, right? So those are practical things that you could do that not necessarily getting you present, but starting to open up to leaning into that everything is working out for us and that it is continually upgrading, right?
Yes.
It is getting better. So regarding getting present, I feel it is a practice. It's a noticing. It's like sometimes we're not going to be, we're probably not ever going to be fully present 24/7. That's okay. Um,
Yeah.
but to know that the body is always present. So if we could get connected with the senses,
Yeah.
the breath is very powerful. Um, I I I remember years ago, early on at some point, I decided to go to Toastmasters because I thought I wanted to be a speaker. Then I had
Mm.
a journey with that and go, no, I don't think I do want to. But anyway, I do remember this really profound speech. It was around one of my favorite things. Do you know chocolate lint balls?
Oh, yes.
I love them, right? And so this girl, I don't even know who she is, she did this talk, like a speech on how these chocolate lint balls, how you can get really present. So you kind of, if you appreciate, if you can picture a chocolate lint ball, they're a round thing with, let's say, the red wrapper, right? And you're
Okay.
looking at the beautiful red wrapper. So you're using your sight sense to look at it and enjoy it, and then you're opening it up. So you kind of, you're hearing the sound of that, and you're
Okay.
you're enjoying it, and then you smell it, and you like smelling it, and then when you eat it, it's just so delicious. So there's all these things that you could choose to bring yourself present
Into the present.
when
Yeah.
when you when you engage your senses.
Beautiful.
Yeah, smelling the flowers, smell the roses, they say, right? Like
Yes.
taste the pizza.
Yes. And feel the sun on your skin.
Oh yeah, the sun, the smell of the
Yeah.
ocean air, everything you can to enjoy and appreciate. I think
Yeah.
that's one of the biggest keys, gratitude and appreciation, because that is, for me, that is such a important part of a joyful, successful life.
Beautiful.
Mm.
Beautiful. I actually, on the course that I mentioned to you, we did an exercise that helped us get back to the present. And that was We closed our eyes. So I'll invite you to actually close your eyes.
Okay.
And if you're wearing earphones, take one off so that you can hear outside as well as what's going on with the conversation. And then close your eyes and just hear what is happening outside around you. So even if you want to listen for what is happening really outside of the building that you find yourself in, and you say, I can hear X. So for me, I can hear construction outside. I can hear vehicles passing in the street. I can hear a train passing by. And then you allow yourself. So if you've got a fan going, I can feel the fan, or I can hear the fan whirring outside of my body. I can feel the fan, and then start feeling different things within your body, right? So you can feel your your bottom on a seat. You can feel what the fabric feels like against your skin. You can feel your clothing, and you can feel how you feel inside your emotions, right? And what that does is it brings you back to what is happening right now and helps you to forget the future or the past if you're choosing to focus on it. You may open your eyes now, and you can, it's up to you really how many different things you can list, but that really helps to get you back to the present. I've done it for myself and with my kids as well, just to help them, because a lot of times we feel fear. It's really about the future, not what's happening right now at this particular moment. So
Yeah,
thank
it's a
you.
beautiful practice to be noticing and aware of this moment, all the things, because there's so many things happening in every single moment. We're filtering it to the tiniest little bit. So there's like opening up to those possibilities. It
Yes,
actually allows even so much more time in the day because you're not skipping over all those moments.
yes, yes, right? Because when you're not present, you miss so many different things. Um, wow. So, do you have any final thoughts for us, Deb? And also, where can people find you, please?
Oh, well, I am on LinkedIn and Facebook and Instagram and we have the website coachtrainingcampus.com and the wisdomplayground.com. Uh, yeah, so pretty much most places. Definitely LinkedIn's good because I'm your friend, Inga.
Yes,
And so people could probably reach out and send me a message that way. And there's
yes.
the website, coachtrainingcampus.com, which is about to launch. It is up, but it's
Ooh,
almost like this is an early day of, it's one of the first public sharings of Coach Training Campus. So,
that's awesome.
yeah,
I want to be part of it, so I'm going to be keeping in touch with you.
excellent.
And I want to, um, I, I have now become friends with you on Facebook. So I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to some pictures of where
Ah.
you are and where you find yourself now in Hawaii. Will you be sharing some?
Yes, I definitely will. I need to get
Awesome.
better at sharing, but it's my intention for this trip. I'm doing some very exciting things, seeing some friends and clients, and going to a um, mental wellness conference.
Beautiful.
So many cool things happening. So I'm going to be much better at sharing on socials of all the
Good.
journey.
I'm gonna check in with you next week and see where are the pictures, Deb.
Okay.
It'll be awesome. But what are your final thoughts for us?
Final thoughts. Well, thank you so much for having me. It has been a really juicy, delicious conversation of just, you know, remembering that life is part of, like, it's a choice of how we want to live it, and
Yes.
to go for it in terms of what we do want, to not let fear get in the way, to choose love, to choose to be present as much as we can, and to live from our heart and really kind of just enjoy without judgment.
Yes. And ask, what would love
Would
do?
love to.
Thank
Mm.
you, Deb. This was a really enlightening conversation. I also want to say hello to Dr. Sanzi McLaurin. She just popped in on LinkedIn, so thank you for being here with us, Sanzi. And thank you, Deb. This was amazing.
Thank
Um,
you.
it just warms my heart to spend some time with you. So I'm looking forward to seeing and watching your journey as you enjoy Hawaii again this
Thank
year.
you. Thank you so much.
A
And this is
pleasure.
beautiful what you're doing here. So thank you so much,
Thank
Inga.
you. Thank you. I will let you go because it's almost 9:30 in the morning for you. Enjoy your day. I know that it's going to be blessed.
Thank you.
No, you're welcome. Bye for now.
Bye.
And if you're still tuned in, I want to remind you that you can go to Africa Online Radio and listen in as I wrap up my conversation with the amazing Deb King. She won't be joining us because she needs to go outside and enjoy her beautiful surroundings. But I'll be wrapping up on that side, and please come in and join me on Africa Online Radio. Wishing you a blessed day. Until next time, take care and see you soon.